Hey y'all, it's Amy with Lily Bean Designs. How is everyone doing this afternoon or this morning, depending on where you are? Welcome to another live video here on our page. If you are joining me today, then happy Friday, and let me know what you are doing and where you're watching from and what's going on today. We are going to be painting a fun shaker file today. So if you've never painted a shaker file before, you are in for a treat. These are one of my favorite things to make. They are super, super fun. They make just a really interesting little display piece to put on an entryway table or just a little vignette for the holidays. We painted one similar to this back in June for our June club launch, and it was a beachy Christmas theme. So, because we did Christmas in July back then. So we are going to paint this one today, and this one is Magical Christmas is our theme. And so this one actually has two shaker features. The snow globe is a shaker, and then the trees over here on the right-hand side are also going to be shakers. So this one's going to be really fun. Now, this is probably not a beginner project, just FYI. You can make it as a beginner. I'm going to walk you through it. And if you are up for a little bit of a challenge, then, feel free to hop on board and make this with us. So this is an SVG Clubhouse bonus file for next week. So if you're not familiar with our SVG Clubhouse, I have a private membership group that is for laser owners, and it's called the SVG Clubhouse. And we make laser projects. The membership is we only open the doors to new members about 3 times a year. And so we are opening next week. We're opening on Halloween, October 31st, and we're going to be open through November 5th. So next week, Tuesday through Sunday, we're going to be open to new members. So if you've been waiting to join, or if you want to hop over to the website and read more about it, it's svgclubhouse.com. It is scrolling at the bottom of your screen, and you can get on our waiting list to be notified so you don't miss when the doors open on Tuesday. Because you're going to want to join on either day 1 or day 2, because we're offering bonus files next week. So in addition to our November bundle that you would be getting when you joined, you will also be receiving 4 bonus files if you join on those first 2 days. Now, if you wait till day 3, then we're going to drop a bonus, and then day 4, we drop another bonus until there are no bonuses left. But I'm going ahead and offering all 4 of them the first 2 days instead of the first day. Okay, we don't normally do that, but it is Halloween. Everybody's busy. People have trick-or-treating on the brain. I don't want anybody to miss it because of that. But we painted the first bonus project yesterday, and then this is our second one. So I'm revealing them in live videos and painting them with y'all. Number 3 will be on Sunday night. So tune in Sunday night at 7. Okay, so sorry. I have to make sure the time zones are right. So tune in 8 p.m. Eastern time, which is 7 p.m. Central time for me here in Louisiana. So tune in then, and we're going to be painting our 3rd bonus file. No bonuses on Saturday. Enjoy your weekend. I don't know if I can squeeze that in because I am volunteering somewhere on Saturday. So let's see. We painted the first bonus file yesterday. Let me show y'all a picture of that. That one is super fun as well. So this is our Santa Paws Stop Here door hanger. That's a Christmas dog door hanger that we painted live yesterday. So if you missed it and you want to see the paint tutorial, then scroll back on my page, Lulu Bean Designs here on Facebook, and you can see the paint tutorial for that one. So that was our first one. I am in love with it. I love it. I love anything with, animals on it. So I thought it was super fun. So then, today we're going to be painting our shaker. Get that off the screen there for y'all so y'all can see. Okay. So I'll chat a little bit with y'all about SVG Clubhouse while I paint. And please feel free to chat along with me and ask questions. Let me show you how this works. And you'll see more as we put it together and get it painted and everything. But this is a project done in layers. Okay, so we have a back layer here that's a snow globe, because our snow globe is going to show through like this. So we're going to start off painting our snow globe. I'm not going to overwhelm you with information right off the bat. Let's just start off painting our snow globe, and then I'll show you kind of as this project, develops. Okay, so our SVG Clubhouse. Let me see. I'm sorry. I'm trying to figure out the best color for my sky here. I want to do a bright blue. Bright blue sky. I got all the red and green and gray and all those colors out, and I forgot about getting a sky color out. Okay, so we're going to do, this is Calypso Blue, but I'm going to lighten it up a little bit. I am totally out of Sea Breeze, which is my favorite, like sky blue, Tiffany blue kind of color that I tend to gravitate towards. So I'm out of that. So we're going to do something a little bit different here. Let me see, get some white. All right, so we're going to paint around our trees here and get this blue color in here because we want to be able to see our trees. So this part is one of the parts that's a little bit challenging. Putting the project together is actually really not too challenging for shakers, but just making sure all your layers are right. So this backer piece, I cut out of 1/4 inch birch, but you can cut it out of any thickness because it does not matter what the thickness of this back piece is. And in the file, it will tell you for each layer, it will tell you what material you need to use. So you don't have to wonder, what am I supposed to be cutting this out of? Basically, you're going to need some 1/4 inch wood, some 1/8 inch wood, and then a product that we use for shakers that's called acetate. And acetate is a clear material that it's the same material that teachers used for transparencies back in the day. I'm dating myself if you don't know what a transparency is, if you're young. If you are from the world of scrapbooking, because some of us started out with scrapbooking and then kind of graduated into the world of laser projects. If you started off scrapbooking, acetate is also what were used for shaker cards. If you ever made a shaker card. But it's clear, thin material. You can purchase packs of it on Amazon. You can get it in the craft store. All of our projects in our SVG Clubhouse, each month, our bundle comes with a supply list where you can get clickable links to everything that you need to do the project. So I would give you a clickable link to the acetate that we use. Okay, now that I've gone around my trees, I can kind of relax a little bit here and start making my sky like I want it to look. So I just painted around those trees with an angled brush. All right, and I mixed a little white in. So I used my, what color did I say this was? Calypso Blue by Deco Art. I used Calypso Blue, and then I just mixed a little bit of white in here. And I'm going to keep on doing that because I want my sky to just gradually go lighter as I go up. So just adding a little bit. I'm not rinsing my brush. I'm just doing a little bit more white as I go up towards the top. That's all I'm doing. Super simple. Until I'm basically just dipping my paintbrush in white. And then you can kind of go back down like this. But then if you get too light back towards the bottom, you can go pick up some more blue again. Painting skies and ombre backgrounds are one of my favorite things to play with. It's just fun to play with the paint colors and see what you can come up with. All right, I'm going to pick up a little bit more white on my brush, go back up here. My brush has a lot of blue on it, so even though I picked up white, it's still wanting to paint some blue. Let me pick up some more blue. And just back and forth we go until we get it about how we want it to look. Okay, so that's how I want that to look. All right. Let's see. Okay, so we're gonna, next color we're gonna use is gonna be our Lily Pad green. This is an Anita's color from Michaels. I'm going to be using that on my trees. And I'm going to also mix in a little bit of a darker green. Where's my darker green? Here it is. I have lots of reds and greens sitting in front of me. I'm going to mix in a little Arbor Green from Apple Barrel. Okay, so we'll start out with the Lily Pad green. Okay, so while we're painting these, I'm going to chat a little bit with you about what our SVG Clubhouse membership includes. It is $17 a month, or you can pay annually and get 1 month free if you want to sign up that way. And your membership includes 4 exclusive new files each month. And so when I say exclusive, they are not available to the general public for at least 1 year. They are only available to club members. So you get the 4 exclusive files each month, and you get marketing photos, blank and finished marketing photos to go with all 4 files. So you can just toss them out there to your customers if you sell your projects to gauge interest, and you don't have to make every project before you do that. And the fact that they're exclusive is nice because then you're not competing with everybody buying files on Etsy and everywhere else that you get files from. I'm just going through and putting my Lily Pad green on these trees. I'm just using a pretty small angled, I could probably show you on the top camera better, angled brush. These are those brushes that you can get at Walmart that have the little grippers on them. They're my favorite brushes. I think they probably have them on Amazon too, but I tend to just grab them when I go to Walmart. And I'm going to go through and touch up a little bit because, you know, I'll get some blue where I want green and green where I want blue, and we can touch that up. It never looks like you want it to look until the end of the project. I always say that. So if you're in the beginning stages of painting something and you're like, oh, I don't know about this, stick with it. Stick with it, because I promise you, I have started painting many projects that I'm like, this is a hot mess. And you keep going, and once you get everything on there, and do some highlighting and just all those little special touches that you can add at the end, it totally transforms your project. It's kind of like that dress that doesn't look that great hanging on the hanger, and then you go try it on and you're like, oh, this dress might work. Have y'all ever done that? I've done that. Okay, so in addition to your 4 exclusive files and your marketing photos that you get with your membership, you also get 50% off of all my files in my shop all the time. So you get a coupon code each month, and you can use it an unlimited number of times in my Etsy shop and my website. I am actually working on my website currently so that you'll be able to shop on there as well. Instead of just Etsy. Etsy can be glitchy sometimes and do weird things. So I am working on that as well. You also get a live paint tutorial each month that I do in the group on one of the projects. And when you join, you have access to the private Facebook group so that you can go back and see all the old videos that I've done in the group. And if you want to purchase past membership files that, before you joined, you can purchase them once you're in the club. That is a member perk to be able to purchase past month's files. Our Facebook group is a great community of crafters. Everyone in there is super sweet, very helpful, very friendly. There's no judgment. There's no drama. It's just a nice community of other people who have lasers, who make similar projects to what you like to make. So it's a fun group. We really enjoy it. And we just have a lot of fun in there. So we hope you'll consider joining next week. And if you like this shaker, I have other shaker videos on my Facebook page as well. So you can scroll back on there and look under my videos and look under shakers, and you can see some other ones that we've done. All right, so let's see. Let me get a smaller brush and some darker green paint. And I'm just going to go through and try to make my trees look a little bit more realistic. You do not have to do all this detail work if you don't want to. If you just want to paint your trees green and your sky blue and call it a day, that is up to you. It does not have to be fancy. But my belief is that when you add some little highlights here and there, it actually draws the eye away from imperfections. So if you're not real confident about your painting skills, if you just add a few little highlights with a tiny brush here and there, and it really does make a difference. Because when someone looks at a project, they're not like zooming in and looking at each little thing necessarily. They're just looking at it as a whole. And it draws the eye away from imperfections. Just kind of doing like an upward motion here. And I'm not even worried that I got outside the lines on these trees some, because once I add these green, the darker green color in, you really don't notice it as much. Here, there we go. I know that's in front of my face, but at least y'all can see what I'm doing a little bit better. See how I'm just dabbing it. Making these trees happy, as Bob Ross would say. Some happy little trees. So I'm volunteering at the Bayou Arts Festival tomorrow here in South Louisiana, in Houma. And I'm actually not going to be at an art area. I'm going to be at a food area volunteering, but that means I get to sample all the yummy food, and then I get to walk around and see all the crafts. All right, so I'm just continuing on down. Sorry, y'all, have a fan. I have my fan on my desk because I get hot, plus it helps dry my paint. So it's like a little, if you hear a fan blowing, it's just my little desktop fan, but it makes my eye water sometimes. So I'll be doing that tomorrow. Okay, those are my trees and my sky. And then we're going to paint white down here for some snow. I probably should have warned my husband that I'll be live for a little while today because shakers do take some time. I will be holed up in my classroom, not my classroom, my craft room. I do not have a classroom. I don't know where that came from. Are you guys watching from work today? Are you watching from home? Sometimes I watch and just have it on silent. Sorry, I promise I'm not crying. My eye is just watering. Okay, so now we have our snow. That's our snow globe that's going to go on the back of our shaker. I am going to put some snow looking stuff back here. We're going to sprinkle a little bit. And the way that I'm going to do that is I'm going to mix. I'm just going to get my brush pretty wet in my little water cup over here. And I'm going to swirl it around in my white paint. So I'm thinning out my white paint on my paper plate here. I want it pretty thin so I can splatter it. So I'm going to dip it down in there again and get more water and just kind of mix it around. My water's already gray just because I've been, dipping it in there to rinse my brush out. Okay, so now, and I'm probably going to have to put this camera back up while I do this because I need space to be able to flick my brush. So I'm gonna flick my brush. I'm going to start out with not a ton on there, and just start out light because I don't want too much. And see how I'm just tapping that on my finger? You don't want too much because you don't want it necessarily like big giant blobs. Now, if you want bigger pieces of snow, you can get it wet again. Just I don't want like giant blobs on there. Maybe a couple, there it goes. A couple of bigger. And I want it on my trees as well because it's going to be snowing on my trees. There we go. That is what I want it to look like. Okay, so that's my snowy background for my snow globe. Super simple. Leisha, yes, you can. You can make a shaker. I promise you. You can do it. It's so much fun. Don't doubt yourself on it. Okay, we're going to set that aside over here by my fan to dry. And then the next part that I want to paint, I'll bring my project over here, is I'm going to take all this off. And I'm going to look for someplace to put it like I always do because I need another table. I'm going to put that on my shopping list. I'm going to find me like a little table to put back here. I'm getting organized finally. I'm getting it together after a crazy year, y'all. Although last night I ordered, so y'all kept telling me that I could find Irish Moss paint, because I love Irish Moss by DecoArt. Y'all kept telling me, somebody kept telling me on here that I could find Irish Moss at Home Depot on the website. Well, I could not find it. So I did find it at Joann's online. And so I went on the Joann's website and I ordered Irish Moss, Sea Breeze. I ordered some grays. I got some of the puffy paint that I like to use. I got some of this, but in white, because I needed white with the thin tip. I ordered some sponge sticks. I had all the goodies in my cart. And I was like, okay, cool. I found everything I need. It'll just be shipped to my door. I think the shipping, they had a coupon for $1.99 shipping. And I was like, perfect. So I went to check out, and literally the second that my finger hit the button, because I was using Apple Pay, I noticed that my Apple Pay is still set up to ship to my old house in Virginia. And I was like, are you kidding me? So now I can't cancel my order. I'm going to have to call Joann's and see if they can either cancel it and let me order again, or if they can change the shipping address. But for some reason, I kind of have my doubts, and I think it's going to probably end up at my old house, which the people who bought my old house are very sweet, and they have saved packages for us and texted us and been like, hey, you got another package? But I was like, you've got to be kidding me that I did that, because that happened to me a few months ago. I was ordering from Bath & Body Works, and I checked out using Apple Pay, and the same thing. And as soon as I did it, I realized it. It was literally like the last second you see the shipping address pop up, and I was like, oh no, shoot. So I called Bath & Body Works. Now, Bath & Body Works customer service is top notch. They were able to cancel the order and let me just place it again and use the correct address. But I don't know. Joann might be able to do that for me, but some of these craft stores, their technology is a little antiquated. Like, when you check out at Hobby Lobby and they're hand keying in their stuff, I don't know. I just have my doubts that they're going to be able to do it. No big deal, because I could use all those things when I go home to Virginia as well. But anyway, it's like, finally last night I went into my settings and I changed my address, which I should have done a long time ago. Okay, did y'all see what I just did there? So this is my backer. Sorry if I'm making y'all dizzy jiggling the camera. This is, well, I don't know what else to call it besides the backer for the project. So I took Territorial Beige by Apple Barrel, and I took a baby wipe and I just rubbed it on there and gave it like a stained kind of look. Okay. And that way I can still see all of my score lines, which my files have score lines in them, so y'all know where to put everything. So that, hopefully makes it helpful for you. So that part's quick and easy, right? Wipe it with the baby wipe, no big deal, super simple. Okay, so now we're gonna move on to this part. And I'm gonna show y'all what acetate is. Okay, it's hard to see on camera, but this is acetate. This is my snow globe piece. And under here, we have our Christmas tree piece, the 2 Christmas trees, okay? If you're cutting this out, yes, you can cut it with your laser, or you could cut it with a Cricut or a Silhouette machine. I cut it with my laser because I'm already using my laser to cut everything else. So why not just go ahead and throw a piece of acetate up there and cut it out real quick? Because this takes no time at all to cut with a laser machine. I mean, it just done. So super quick. On my Thunder, I just threw it on there with whatever setting I already have, and I don't even refocus it, and I just cut it. And it's my setting for wood, and it just cuts it out really quick. I don't know. I don't even like mess with the settings. But what you could do is figure out what your setting is for your laser that you would use for cardstock, and then use that same setting for acetate. It's going to be your same setting as thick cardstock, okay? So I'm going to lay these over here because they're clear, and I have been known to lose them. I have literally lost them laying right here in plain sight. All right, so going to take these pieces and just make sure that we're not like losing anything. And I'm just remembering that I meant to, whoops, no, we do not want to open TikTok while we're live. Let's not do that. I meant to set this camera up to record. Hang on one second, y'all bear with me. Over here. And that's not what I want to do. Sorry, y'all. Thank you for your patience. No, I don't want, okay, time lapse. Yes, time lapse. Okay, we're going to time lapse this over here in the corner. Okay. What we need to remember at this point is that we only need to paint the pieces that are going to be in the front, okay? And I am telling that to myself because I will paint pieces that are not going to end up showing. And I do it every time that I paint a shaker, and it's just part of it. It's part of the learning curve of painting a shaker. Carmen says, I don't think my X tool will cut it, but I cut mine with my silhouette. Okay, Carmen, if your X tool will cut wood, it's gotta cut acetate. I don't know anything about an X tool, but if it can cut through wood, I can't imagine that it would not cut cardstock. So I don't know, but again, you know your machine better than me. So, okay, I'm gonna take all my little pieces off of here. Now, again, some of these are cut with 1/8 inch, and some of these are cut with 1/4 inch, and there's a reason for that. You want, and like I said, in the file, it tells you what to cut with what material. So you don't have to worry you're gonna do it wrong. It's all in there for you. But the reason for that is because where we do the shaker component, we need a thicker part in the back for all the little doodads to move around, okay? Oh, because it's clear. Okay, I got you. Have you tried putting a piece of cardstock behind it? That may work if it's not doing it because it's clear. But again, I don't know anything about that machine and I don't want to mess you up. Okay, so let's start with our polar bear. Let me find the right size brush here. Our polar bear is going to be white, obviously. And so I'm going to start painting him. Let's see. Now his face is a separate piece, but we do need his little area up here. And I don't have to stay in the lines because these are going to be covered up by the scarf and his face. So don't think I'm being sloppy. I don't have to stay in the lines for this. Okay, let me move this back down. This would be, like I said, a cute item to display on an entryway table or, you know, propped up on a little shelf in your kitchen. But it would also make a cute gift, and kids love these. Whenever I have one in my house and I have a kid come over, they always are like, ooh, what's that? Can I play with it? I'm just painting up here, like I said, not going to show. Okay, and then I have some territorial beige on my plate. So I'm going to pick up just a little bit of that, and I'm just going to kind of do this because, you know, he's a bear, and he's not going to be perfectly white. Okay, so now I'm going to go back with the white because I don't want him too brown. I want him to be, you know, mostly white. I'm just trying to shade. I'm doing kind of a shading thing, a non-artist trained form of shading. I'm sort of jerry-rigging my shading a little bit, if that makes any sense, because I'm a nurse, not an artist. And I was never taught any of this stuff. So I just do it the way that I think works. All right, so that just gives him a little dimension, a little depth to have not just solid white, but some light brown mixed in. Okay, so let me look at what else is going to show, what else is going to be considered a front piece of this project, okay? So the top of the snow globe is going to be white. So let me get some more white paint over here. And I want to use a little baby sponge stick. Let me get one that's clean and not stiff. So one of these little guys here. Or you could use a brush, it doesn't matter. So I'm gonna paint. I like to use these because it just keeps me from getting paint on the side of my project. And it puts a good thick coat on that sometimes lets me get away with having to do a second coat. All right. And since I already have it in my hand, I'm going to paint my snowman because he's a front layer. I'm going to paint him white. This present right here, this is a layer. Okay, so it's not going to show. So it's okay that we get out of the lines on that. But now this side, this present over here is a front layer. So I'm going to go grab a brush. Where did my paper towel go? Did I toss it? I might have tossed it. It's getting yucky. Okay, so we want this to be like so. And just do kind of a second coat there. Okay. All right. So now, what else is a front layer? The bottom of the snow globe is a front layer. Let me real quick do a second coat up here. Okay. And I have another sponge stick with some of that territorial beige on it. Sorry, I know that's right in front of my face. I just want y'all to be able to see. And finish going across the bottom there. Okay, so that's brown. All right, so then the only other thing that is going to be a front layer is going to be this present here, the bottom of this present. So here, real quick, let me touch up my snowman, because you know, white you can almost never get away with one coat. So as it dries, I'm just seeing we'll probably need a second coat. Kind of a third coat. All right, so that's done. And then, oh, let's see. Let's make that present green. Nope, we're going to make it red because it's going to be next to our green trees. So we're going to make that one red. We'll make the other present green. All right, so my red that I love is my primary red by Deco Art. Alrighty. And let's do some polka dots on there. These are just light polka dots. This is a fine tip white pen that I have. And let's do green. Although that green is not looking real green. Okay, you know what? I'm changing my mind here. I'm not loving that. I'm not loving the way it looks. And it's just paint, so we can fix it, right, y'all? So I'm just going to go back over this with my red paint. I changed my mind. That's our prerogative. We can change our mind in the middle of a project, can we not? Now what I may do is I may take my white puffy paint later on in the project and do some white dots with that, and that will show up better. Okay, so that's our red. Sorry, it looks a little dark on there, but it's brighter in real life, I promise. Okay, that is all that needs to be painted for this layer, okay? So now what we're gonna do is we're gonna paint, let's start off with our polar bear, all of his features. So let's do his face white. And let's do his nose, his snout pink, which my pink got a little gray in it yesterday when I was painting the dog's snout, but that actually works. I don't know why, it just does. It works for looking like an animal's face. Because it's not going to be like bright pink, you know. Let's paint our scarf. So what I'm going to do for our scarf is I'm going to start off painting the whole thing white so that we have a nice bright white background. And the same thing with his hat. because, you know, we're going to have to do a couple coats of this white. So let's just go ahead and get all this white out of the way. I'm grabbing everything that I'm thinking I'm going to need to paint white and just going ahead and painting it. I know I should take this down, but I'm being lazy. I'm just going to do this. Y'all can't see. Sorry, I'm hiding behind my little paint can thing. All right, so I'm just grabbing everything that I know I'm going to want to make white and just getting it knocked out. So I grab my snowflakes too, which my snowflakes go on the very front of the project. But I'm like, well, we're going to paint this white, so we may as well go ahead and paint them while we have a white sponge stick. It is quicker to paint, you know, all of one color at the same time, if you know what color you're going to want to paint things ahead of time, because I don't always. So that's probably why it takes me longer to paint stuff. Because I don't always know, and sometimes I change my mind. Okay, let's see. What else do we want to do? I wonder if these are dry enough. These are probably dry enough. Do another coat. Giving myself a nice white fingernail. You guys are quiet today. No one has any questions? Is everyone just tired on this Friday afternoon? Tired of the work week? My husband and I need to go to the grocery store this afternoon. Exciting. I never used to go to the grocery store with my husband. When I was raising kids, that was not something that we did together, ever. Well, not never, I guess, but you know. So now it's like our little outing. Exciting times. Which means I can't hide the chocolate as easily, right? Put the chocolate on a separate trip and hide it in my secret chocolate spot. Okie dokie. Let me think. What else? These need to dry a little bit more. Let's go ahead and grab all of this stuff. So our hat is black. Is that the only black thing I have to paint? I think it is. So I'm just going to use this Sharpie because I told y'all yesterday I've lost my black Posca pen. It has disappeared on me. I don't know where it is. It's really strange because it doesn't leave this room. And I don't have any kids in the house to steal my paint, my craft supplies. Nobody is stealing my craft supplies anymore. All right, black hat. Still debating what color I want to do my snowman scarf. I do want to do my little carrot nose orange, so let's do that. I love that orange Posca pen. It does a good job. Let's see. So I think we'll do our snowman scarf. I think we'll go ahead and do that in red. Because he's front and center of this project, and I just feel like red It's just, it's the classic Christmas color. I love it. All right, what else are we going to do here? So let's do this in green. And I think we're going to do this in white. This goes on our present. Go ahead and do that in white. Y'all know I never paint my letters until the end, so I'm saving those for last. I'm painting this little guy, this bow with my, I wanted to say Irish moss, but like I said, I still don't have my Irish moss. This is that lily pad green, which is similar. You can also use that eucalyptus green that I used yesterday. That was super cute. Okay, let's see. Let's try to do some red and green stripes on here. See if we can pull this off without getting messy. Have you guys been watching any good shows lately? I saw this morning that Frasier, there's a new Frasier coming back, like a whole new series. I don't know any details. I just saw it advertised. And I used to love Frasier. I loved Cheers, and then I loved when they had the Frasier spinoff. So I'm going to check that out. I used to keep Frasier on when I worked from home and I was by myself at home all day. I would just put old episodes of Frasier on sometimes. I hopped around between Gilmore Girls, Frasier, what else? Can't think of what other show I had on. The Golden Girls, that was one of my favorites. Leisha, yes, this is number 2, the second free file for our opening. So if you're if you're a current SVG Clubhouse member, you will get the bonus files in your inbox on October 31st. So if you're already in the club and we open the doors to new members and we offer bonuses, you automatically get the bonuses. So you guys are getting 4 extra files next week. So I'm going to go ahead and send out your November files on October 31st, but then you'll get a second email that has your bonus files in it. So be sure and check your inbox for both of those emails. Okay, red and green stripes, which we'll touch up with some white when they dry. And we'll go ahead and do a red bow. Since our other bow is green, we'll do red on this one. Sometimes with my red, I go through and I add a little white to it. So that's what I'm doing on here, but I'm going back and picking up red so it's not too much white. It gives it some depth. And the same thing with the bow. And then I'll go back and pick up red again. And then we'll also do some highlights on here too. I don't know if this rough needs it. That actually looks pretty good for highlights on there. Okay, so let's see what's next. Let me do another coat of white on our snowflakes and our ribbon. That's fun. That second coat of white just really pops. It looks like it doesn't need it, but then you put it on there and you're like, oh, yep, it needed it. Okay, so now I'm doing some highlighting, accenting, whatever you want to call it. I just have a tiny little brush and I'm putting white on it and adding some highlights. Just on all my little pieces that I think need a little something, something. And if you get too much white, just go back. I don't want too much white on that nose. There we go, that's better. I'm grabbing some more red because I didn't like what that looked like, but I think now it looks better. My little bow. Okay, so our bare face, I have a tiny extra fine tip black pen. That I'm filling in these pieces with. This is Neutop is the brand. You can get a set of them on Amazon. This is, whoops, I can probably show you one here. Same one I showed y'all yesterday. N-I-U-T-O-P, Niutop. Carmen, this came in that set of brushes from Walmart. The grippy, like, teal brushes from Walmart. It has a couple of those thin round tip brushes in there that I like. I don't know why I'm closing those paint containers. I'm going to need them again. Okay, let's see. I'm just going to go ahead and put his nose on here. And you got score lines on there so you can see where to put it. There's his face. I'll set him over here. All right, our hat needs some highlights. Make it maybe look like it's got a little snow on it. There we go. And this present. Okay. What else we need to highlight? All right, now let's figure out what we want to do with our scarf and our hat. All right, I need a fairly small, fairly tiny brush. Let me see here. This one's probably perfect. You do not have to stay perfectly in the lines on this kind of stuff. All right, and then we're going to do some green. So this is not the tiniest brush, but this is like the next one up in this set. And I find that it's easier, it looks neater if you stay slightly inside the lines rather than slightly outside the lines. Don't worry about having to get right on that score line. And this is the reason why I like an angled brush, because I feel like I can flip it around I only buy angled and round tip brushes. Yeah, I feel like I could flip it around and get a good angle. For what I'm doing. All right, there is our scarf. That looks good. And then we need to do a hat. So let's do that. And then red. In the middle. I know that is hard to see, y'all. I know. And I'm just touching up my white down here. Because I got a little green on there. Okay, and then our hat poof goes on the top here. And that's our hat. Okay, so now we can dress our polar bear. Now we haven't painted our trees yet, so I'm gonna paint those here in just a minute. Let's start putting a few things together so we have it, so I don't lose my little pieces. That just makes me feel like I'm getting there. Sorry, let me try to get this up here in camera. All right, there's our present. Make sure that's on there right. There's that. That one goes there. Goes there. Make sure that that's gonna. I want my tree to fit right there, and I want it to fit like right up against it. So I'm trying to test the placement. Okay, so yeah, that works. Make sure you got that piece in the right spot. Okay. Our snowman eyes. Like I said, y'all, slightly inside the lines, not slightly outside the lines. Just makes it look less messy. I have learned that over the years, for sure. Slowly coming together, y'all. Okay, that's all of our loose pieces that go on there for now, because we still need to do our trees. So we have trees and letters to paint, and that's actually all we have left to paint. So for the trees, in your file, you're going to have two sets. You're going to have one in the folder that says 1/4 inch and one in the folder that says 1/8 inch. The only one you paint is the top one, which is the 1/8 inch. Okay, so your thin wood is the only one that you need to paint, okay? So let's do, what are we gonna do? Here's my sponge sticks. Okay, so we are going to get a sponge layer of the lily pad green. Thank you, Carmen. I am getting excited now because I'm getting close to where I can put it together, which is the best part. It's so fun. Get to add all your little fillers. The Target dollar aisle and Hobby Lobby, well, probably Michael's too, are great places to get sequins and little fillers and things like that for your shakers. Okay, now you could do highlights on here. I don't really think it needs it. I think I'm just gonna leave it alone. Just lily pad green, not overcomplicate things, because we're gonna have sparklies inside of here. All right, so we're good. We're good with that. Except we need a place to put it, of course. Running out of places to put things on this desk. Maybe if I didn't have 50 things of paint up here at the same time. All right, let's put it over here. Ah, now I'm shaking my other camera. Sorry about that, folks. All righty, now, letters. We have a magical Christmas. All right, so usually I like to put everything together and figure out like what color, but I'm just gonna hold this over here and, okay, I think I'm gonna do have a in red and magical Christmas in, no, I'm not gonna do that. We need some white. I always say we need white. White is boring to paint, but it does look good because it pops. Okay, let's do have a in green. And then magical Christmas in white. Because y'all, white lettering to me, I feel like everything needs some of the lettering to be white. Oh, and by the way, you can use acrylic in a shaker instead of acetate. They make a 1/16 inch acrylic that is thin that would work. But have y'all heard of Flex? I just heard of it recently. And I think there's only one place, and I don't remember the name of it, but there's one place that sells this stuff called Flex. and I've heard that it's good for shakers. So I don't really know anything about it yet, but I was thinking about going on there and ordering some because I'm wondering, and comment if you know, but I'm wondering if Flex is like thinner than 1/16 acrylic but thicker than acetate. That's what I'm wondering. And if it's, I mean, I would think that it's flexible because it's called Flex. That's just what I think. So y'all tell me if you have heard of this stuff and if you've used it and all the things, because this girl needs to know about this new stuff because I love me a shaker. And if it's going to be my new shaker thing, then I need to get on it and get some ordered. Oh, we're almost done, y'all. So exciting. We can put it all together. It's going to be so cute. I know I could use tape to paint these letters, and I'm probably making y'all twitch watching me paint them like this and get paint on my fingers. It's just what I do. It's just how I roll. Don't flip over. See, that wouldn't happen if I had tape. And it would probably be quicker. I probably just should have put a piece of tape down. I'm so close to the end. I just want to get paint on these letters. I don't have any patience for painting letters. Oh, Christy. Yes, it's thicker than acetate and thinner than 1/16. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. Okay, add to cart. Do you know the name of the place that sells it? Because where I saw it discussed, it was just one online place who had it. Because acetate does scratch pretty easily. You have to kind of be careful with acetate not to scratch it. And I'm wondering if Flex would be better about that. I'm thinking that it would. Okay, so what we're going to do here is we're going to move some stuff around. Get out of my way, letters. Get over here for a moment. Okay, we're going to have to zoom back out here. Zoom back out. All right, so first thing that we want to do is, let me think about this. Yes, we want to put this back here like that. So we're going to flip it over. Now don't pay attention to the fact that this wood is warped, y'all, because y'all know I use it's just a little bit warped. I use my my pieces that are warped, my like crap pieces, to cut my own stuff out for playing. So yeah. Okay, so we want to get this. Okay, I gotta stand. I gotta stand up so I can see what I'm doing here, y'all. All right, I'm gonna hold that with my hand and flip and just make sure, yes, that looks good. Okay, so I'm gonna stand here and make sure it's not moving, and I'm just gonna hold it for a second. Smoky Hill Designs, perfect, thank you. I'm gonna have to order some of that. Now my stick fast, y'all, my stick fast, it's not drying as fast as it was. And I don't know why, because normally it dries really, really quick. Sometimes that's nice because it gives me some wiggle room to move things around if they're not perfect. But sometimes it kind of gets on my nerves. And I don't know if it's because I left the top off. I would think that that would make it thicker, not thinner. I don't know. But I feel like it's taken longer to dry. And this is the thick. I always get the thick. Okay, so la la la, like that. All right, so now let's make sure we have all of our shaker things put together correctly. Okay, so what's going to happen here is we're going to fill this, and then we put the acetate on top, like so, and then we put, and I'm more or less like talking to myself here for a moment, y'all. Then we put this on like that, and then we're going to do the second shaker over here. Okay, so I had to talk myself through that because I have not put this one together yet. This is my first time putting this particular one together, and it's a little different. Okay, so here's the fun part. Are y'all ready for the fun part? We're going to take some fun filler things, and we're going to fill this back here. We're going to fill it. This is snow from the Target dollar spot. It looks like snow. So I'm thinking I might want to use that, but let's just check it out first. I'm going to open it and see. I also have some other white items that might work. I have some like plastic snowflake thingamabobs. Y'all don't see me using my teeth to do that, right? Because I'm standing up. All right, let's see. I don't know about that. I don't know. That's questionable. That's a maybe. Okay, so the other thing that I have in my box of things, in my box of fillers, is I have snowflakes. I have things falling out. Okay, so snowflakes and white sequins. So let's do some of that. Okay, yes, that's a yes. I don't want that silver sequin that's in there though necessarily. That's a big yes on there. That's going to be pretty when it moves around, but we're going to need some white sequins too because these are more clear. Sorry, there's some of them that are stuck together. Let me make sure those are coming apart. Now, I'm sorry, I cannot tell you where these came from because I've had them for a very, very, very long time. So I don't know. Probably Michael's Hobby Lobby or Amazon because that is how I roll. All right, I'm grabbing some white sequins as well. And we're just filling her up. We're not overfilling her though. But we have a pretty big area in here, honestly, because the bottom. So we do have like a fairly larger area than like some of the other shakers to put stuff. So I'm kind of getting some generous scoops here for this shaker. Now I'm thinking that this might be pretty too. I have these little tiny blue things. I'm going to throw some in. I'm not going to lie, they're butterflies, but you can't tell they're butterflies because they're that tiny that you can't tell. So don't tell anybody that there's butterflies in my snow globe in winter, okay? Let's see. Is there anything else in here that would work? Let me look. Y'all, I forgot I bought some of these. I got some cute ones in here I need to use. Oh, you know what? Some of these bigger blue ones. Oh, yeah. There we go. Now we're talking. Sometimes you got to throw them in and see. Oh, not the orange one. Not the orange one. Okay, yeah. Now, these blue ones are a mix of, not the gold one. They're a mix of different blues, some bigger, some smaller, some light, some dark. I like a mix because to me, it just really makes it pretty. I'm going to add a whole bunch more white here at the end because it's snow. It's supposed to be snow, so we do want it to be like predominantly white. And sometimes you don't put nearly this many fillers in a shaker, but like I said, this is a bigger shaker. I need like a little scooper. All right, let's get that out of there. Make sure you don't have any in here that you don't want in here, and make sure that it's enough. I think that's probably good. We probably could do more, but yeah, I think we're good. All right, make sure they're all in, everybody in the pool. And now we're going to put our clear acetate / flex / acrylic, whatever you choose to use. Now we're going to add that part. So here's where you want to make sure you are not using too much glue. You want a thin bead of glue, and you do not want to get glue down inside. Okay, so super careful. And again, I'm more talking to myself. Okay, like so. Now, make sure you don't have any dog hair, cat hair, hair in general, lint, all the things. Make sure that you don't have, see, there's an errant sequin. And you do not want to move it around too much. You want to get it where you want it. So yeah, there we go. That works. That works. You can move it just a tad. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so now everything is sealed up inside, okay? Now, next step. Next step is Big Daddy. Big Daddy goes on next because that is what covers up that. So you can see the shaker, feature inside. Okay, so we want to, I'm not going to put glue, I don't think I am, on, okay, maybe I will. I'll put a little bit of glue on the back of my snowman. I don't want to put too much. I don't want glue oozing out on my acetate, okay? All right, so I'm going to hold this over to the side, and I'm going to just put thin glue just all over. Thin, thin, thin. Okay, so I'm putting it on the back of my snowman, but I'm staying well within the inside. I'm not getting close to the outside edge, okay? And I'm not doing it on those bows because I don't want to be too close to the edge and have glue oozing out onto my clear material. Okay, got to stand up again. And very gingerly, we place that on top. Okay. Make sure you get her all lined up good. All lined up good. Oh my gosh, y'all, I am in love. See, my scarf, it's not glued. It's not glued down. We're going to squeeze some glue in there. There we go. Okay. Do you guys see, do y'all see my boo-boo? Do y'all see it? Has anybody noticed my boo-boo yet? Guess what? I want the back of my trees to be green. See, I knew at some point that it would happen. That's okay. We're going to fix it. We're going to fix it. Okay, I'm going to paint back here green. And some of it will probably get on the sides, and I'm just not going to fret over that. But what y'all could do is paint it before you put that on. And I can go back for you and add score lines. See, this is why it's good that I have not sent these files out to y'all. I'm going to go back and I'm going to add score lines for your inside of your trees so that you will know where to paint green. And I can also take out these shiplap lines for y'all back behind these trees. So, yep, that's happening. But in the meantime, I do want y'all to see how pretty this is all put together. So we're going to paint it. And we're not going to fret over it and have a come apart, as my friend Michelle calls it. That's my favorite Michelle-ism. She watches sometimes. Yes, I will do a score line, Carmen. No worries. Jeanette says, fixable. The second I put it down, I was like, there it is. I knew it. I knew I could not make it through a shaker video that I had not pre-done and not have something like that show up. It's like, dang it. Dang it. Okay, I probably need a smaller brush than that. I think I do. I need the little guy. That one. Yeah, this one. I need this one. That'll make it less messy. Okay. Yep, we're going to go back and add a score line. Hopefully, people won't be just watching this video with no volume and be like, why is she doing it that way? Hopefully they will listen and realize she gonna fix it. She human like everybody else. And y'all, I literally sat in my computer cross-eyed designing this thing. My husband walked in and he was like, is everything okay? And I was like, yes, I'm fine. My brain is turning to mush trying to make all of the components of this shaker file come together. And I thought I had it. Oh, there's a fiber in there from a paintbrush. It's actually not getting on the sides, but I will not make you all endure this. I will put score lines and take the shiplap lines out back there, which you really don't notice them, but I'll take them out anyway. All right, I know my head's chopped off. I'm still standing, but I need to be able to see down in here to try to do this as neatly as possible. But it's not too horrible. It's all right. I just thought I was done painting. That's the bummer of it all. I was there. I was ready to put sparkles in there. Now I gotta get the paintbrush out again. Oh, nope. Well, that doesn't matter. It wouldn't matter if I did get paint on the top part because it's going to be covered up anyway. I mean, you could leave the back of your trees brown. I like them to be the same color as the sparkles. Personally, I think it looks better. Personally. More paint. I think if you go over an hour on Facebook Live, that you should get like a prize from Facebook. Ding, ding, ding. You have exceeded 1 hour. You get a prize. Well, I guess people could just like leave it running and not be doing anything. I don't know. One more tree. One more tree. We're getting paint down in this little one a little bit worse, but oh well. And I need it to be dry so I can fill it. Heck. I don't have time for this. Sit here and wait for paint to dry. I'm gonna have to go get my hair dryer. I used to keep a hair dryer in my craft room. I have a hair dryer in my craft room in Virginia, but here I do not. So I might just have to like run to my bathroom and get my hair dryer. So I can go ahead and fill this up for y'all. I don't think my little fan is up to the challenge to dry it fast enough. This is hurting my neck to stand up. Do y'all stand up and paint? I don't know why. I need to be able to see down in here. Down in here to get where I need to get. Ta-da! Okay, we're gonna leave it. We're gonna leave it alone. Let's see. Let's see if we can get it dry. Is that as high as you go, fan? I feel like that's going to take an exorbitant length of time. Jeez. Oh, you know what I can do? Ha ha. Here, I'm going to leave this on and point it, but I can glue all those other things on. I can glue all the letters on while I'm waiting. Okay, let's get it right there. Okay, we're gonna glue our letters on and our snowflakes and all the other things, and then hopefully it'll be dry. And yes, they're supposed to be hanging off, or that one's supposed to be hanging off. I like it like that. I'm weird like that. Where are you at, little snowflake? There you are. This is gonna be so cute. See, before I did not have the trees as shakers, and that would not have been a problem. I added the trees being another shaker sort of like after the fact, and it didn't dawn on me that I needed to go back and put score lines. But it just, when it popped in my head to make the trees shake, I was like, oh, we have to make the trees a shaker, a double shaker. That's what I get for trying to like be extra with my shaker things. But shakers are extra anyway, right? That's what we love about them. That is not the C that goes there. That's the C that goes here. And I don't ask me why they're different. Don't ask me that, but they are. They're like a different, probably because I had to stretch like letters and words and stuff out. Do you know what I mean? To like make it work. So this is the C. This is the C that I'm looking for. That was not the C I was looking for. Sorry, a little Star Wars humor for you all. Okay. Come on, trees. Dry, dang it. Dry. These trees are getting on my nerves, but they're not drying. They're getting on my nerves. Okay. How cute. How cute. What we need this to be shaked, shaken. Shakery. Dry, dang it. Do y'all want me to go get my hair dryer? I feel like I need to go get my hair dryer. All right. I'm going to put y'all on hold here, okay? Talk amongst yourselves while I get my hair dryer. It's on the other side of my house. I got it. I got it. Welcome back. Let's find a place to plug it in. Where are we going to plug it in? Okay, I know. Unplug something else. Okie dokie, Smokey. We're ready. Thank you, Jeanette, for leading the discussion. Right, let's put it on not super hot, but all the way up. Feel free to mute me. Feel free to mute the video. I think that's actually good, y'all. You just needed a little extra. All right, we can turn the fan off too. Okay, thank you for your patience. Goodness gracious. Okay, now let's open up our doodads. And, oh, this is gonna be pretty. Okay, now, I have Christmas trees. I have doodad Christmas trees here. Do y'all see that? So, of course, those are going in here. As if there were any question. Those are going in the pot. Where we're dropping Christmas trees and other places where Christmas trees shouldn't be. And we have a purple star. Okay, we're going to get out the picker-upper tool. Picker-upper thingamabob. Okay, this is, all right, we're going to get rid of the paint. Set that right there. Okay, Silhouette Pick-Me-Up tool. Michael's, Hobby Lobby, Amazon. Okay, gotcha. We'll pick up the naughty doodads. Okay, where did that go? There it is. That are not supposed to be there. It's got like a tacky tip on it. It's the perfect doodad picker-upper. I'm losing my mind today, y'all. Can you tell? Now, I'm dropping in this mixture of blue, not blue, what am I saying? Green, but it actually does have some like aqua blue in it. I just think it's pretty because it gives, not a red heart, or a cane, that's a candy cane actually. It gives like just something to the color scheme here. Gives a little something extra, makes it pretty. Just go with a mix of similar colors and shapes and sizes because the variation in it is just what makes it so pretty when you shake it. Okay, so this is what we have. Just all sorts of doodads. And so here's the deal, y'all. Now I'm questioning my own like design. So I have this piece that can go on here, and then the acetate, and then this piece. But honestly, I'm thinking that it just needs this piece. Because I think that, well, of course the acetate. But yeah, I'm not thinking it needs that extra piece. I think this gives it plenty of moving room because this is 1/4 inch. So I'm going to omit that piece. Welcome to test cut, my test cut session where I decide everything I did wrong and I fix it before I send you this file. Welcome. We're glad you're here. All right, Now, glue. Glue would be good here. Okay. Very, very thin. Don't get the glue down in there. Be super duper duper extra careful. Get out of there. Get out of there, sequin. But make sure, be careful, but also make sure that you're not missing areas where sequins can escape, because they can be naughty like that. Okay. Now we get the dog hair and the cat hair and the lint and all the things off of our clear material. And then we put it down on here. Then we drop it down on there. And the sequins are being staticky. They're being staticky and naughty, and they're trying to jump up. But that's okay. I just want to make sure that this is like on there good. Need a little something here. There we go. There we go. There was like a sequin that was, there are a couple sequins that are like flipped up and making it not stick. It's making me mad. It's making me mad. Get down. Get down. What were you doing? Don't do that. Learn from my mistakes. Don't open it and stick your finger in there and get glue on it, okay? Just don't. Okay, now it's on there. Okay, so then we need to put the top piece on, and we're done. Oh my goodness gracious. We did it. We did it. It's so pretty. Just a little bit on the inside. It's not a lot. Just to keep it from wanting to lift. Check it out, y'all. Check it out. Oh my gosh. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, we are done, you guys. Check out that shakeage. I love it. I absolutely love it. Oh my goodness gracious. So cute. Okay, so this file will come with an easel, okay, that you can stand your project up on, like so, to display. You like? I'm losing my mind today because I've been painting for almost 2 hours. Actually, I think I have been painting for 2 hours, exactly. All right, guys, that is it. That is our project. It's all done. Thank you for joining me and for helping me get through all my boo-boos. I appreciate you so much. And we will make those couple of changes to the file before it gets sent out to y'all. but now you know how to put it all together and to troubleshoot, right? All right, thanks so much for joining me, guys. I hope that you will consider joining our club. Please join on the first or second day, Tuesday or Wednesday of next week, so you get all 4 of the bonus files. And I will see you guys Sunday night at 8 p.m. Eastern time for the reveal of our 3rd bonus project. All right, thanks so much, guys. See you then. Bye.